We do a little bit of custom crush here as well, so I'm also the production manager here. Basically, I'm the assistant winemaker for Anaba Wines, the label and the wines that we make, and then I'm also the production manager for the entire production facility. So that alone entails an entirely different job description. So as for the assistant winemaker aspect of it, I get to go out to all the vineyards with Katie and check on the vines. Like right now, we're checking on the work that's been done on shoot thinning and suckering, and making sure that we're on the same page with the different farmers and the owners of the vineyards that we work with. And then right before bottling, I play a big part with Katie as well, doing barrel blending trials and deciding, what fits best with each wine and which style and what we can do to best express the vineyards that those wines come from. Barrels are one of the things that fascinate me the most in the winery, but as far as barrel choices go, we leave all of that up to Katie. She has her styles and coopers that she has worked with in the past to best express, the style of wine she's trying to make. But it does play a very huge part, depending on how much new oak you want to put into it. Here we use 100% French oak, but it's usually around 30%. It obviously depends on the lot, but and then various coopers, and you're talking about thickness of the staves, which forest it comes from, how long it was aged, 36 months, 48 months, are the heads toasted, what's the level of toastiness that they've got, because it goes from like light to medium plus to heavy light, and whatever. I mean, it could go on forever, but yeah, the barrel selection, it's one of the most expensive and one of the most important parts as well, but in the end, it still comes back down to the vineyards, and you don't want to mask what the vineyard's trying to show with a flashy barrel. The barrel plays like a background character, but it's like the bass in a band. Like if without it, it wouldn't be a band. But you could argue. There's so many styles of wine. There's plenty of wines we do with no new oak, and plenty that we do in just steel. So yeah, the oak is a big character to it, and there's like many other things in the winery. It's one of the big important parts. I do. I haven't played in a little bit. We just got a new house. Most of my instruments have been under my bed for a while. So I have a keyboard and a bass that I'm hoping to set up in a new space and get back into it. But I really haven't had time since I started working. In more ways than just the fact that how it impacts the wine, just the way that they're built. And I think one of the ways that I fell in love with this industry is fixing a leaky barrel and just finding where the problem is and how to get it solved. And that happened to be a hole in a barrel that a borer beetle laid out, and putting a little spile in it was very satisfying. And then just kind of going from there, like learning about barrels and all the different hoops, the head hoop, quarter hoop, bilge hoop, the way that they pick staves and how specific it has to be. I did a Cooper tour. It's just a crazy art form that a lot of people don't even really think about. We do have a couple clients that use concrete eggs, which are pretty cool in and of themselves, the way that they stir the lees naturally, and concrete naturally breathes a little bit, and you have to get a nice coating of tartaric acid on the inside, and it adds this whole other character that typically you'll blend in with either some oak or stainless steel. Some people do straight concrete. Again, everybody's different, but yeah, we have 6 eggs in the winery, but no amphoras. What I love about it is, I'm sure this is pretty cliche too, it's just a nice blend of art and science. So there's no one right way to do anything, but there is a big science background to the whole process, and plenty of problems to solve, and everybody can put their own stamp on it. It's not like like I just said, there's no one right way to do anything, and being able to express what you want to give to the end product without being too criticized about doing it wrong is pretty nice. What's nice about this position is that so Katie is the as the consulting winemaker, has her vision, and in my position as the assistant winemaker and the production manager, I have my flexibility in how to get that vision accomplished. So it's a lot of logistics and a lot of problem solving. I do all the intern hiring. I do a lot of the training and equipment maintenance, upkeep, placement, etc. So what I really find rewarding in this job right now is, yeah, sure, I could probably make my own label, but it's just not on my horizon right now. I really enjoy the whole problem-solving aspect and getting things done. I think something that I learned from you in our job as in the recording studio was signal flow and signal chain, and finding the source of the problem, or like, what's your goal? There's a problem. Where to start looking you want to get something from point A to point Z, and you want to fix it. Like, what are the steps along the way that would be the most efficient to get that problem solved? And just understanding the process from coming back from it and looking at the whole picture rather than one thing at a time, I think was something that I learned a lot from you and learned a lot from the audio engineering industry. So the Anaba comes from anabatic winds, which are the winds that come over these hills every afternoon.
And that's the wind turbine on your shirt.
Right. So yeah, we have we're very focused on sustainability. We do very sustainable vineyard practices here, and for all of the vineyards that we buy fruit from. And the wind turbine is a very good symbol of that. Obviously, we have one here. We have solar power on all of our roofs, which can power the entire winery and the entire tasting room and still kick back energy to the grid as long as the sun is shining. So that's one thing I'm super proud of here. And we save all of our wastewater, and it is possible to reclaim it for landscape irrigation and eventually, if treated, for the vineyard as well. We're kind of working towards that progress. Sure, it's AnabaWines.com. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful. ANABAWINES.com.